Good afternoon, guys. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you're watching from. All right. So, I was actually on a trade earlier. Yeah, the last video I did, I was on a trade on a GBP USD buy. Yeah, that buy was. I'm trying to figure out where I took that buy. I know I took that buy from somewhere. Okay, I took that buy from somewhere. I was expecting GBP USD to hold a buy, but GBP USD failed that buy. Um, that record has actually been deleted. Okay, yeah. I just remembered. Yeah, it's somewhere around here. I think this was it. Somewhere around here, I took a buy on GBP USD, and that buy what got invalidated. So I had to know why did this buy, invalidate, or why was this buy invalidated. So I had to go to the higher time frame to check. All right. Now, if I zoom out my chart, because what I trade is TFA, that's time frame alignment. That's what I call it, TFA. So, looking at the overall GBP USD structure, we can see that we actually bearish, right? So, since 2022, right, till now, we have actually been trading a retracement. So, we're hoping that price is going to come into this zone here, this zone here, this zone here for a sell to the downside. For now, price is building up to it, so I have to zoom in. So now, what is the internal weekly structure? Now, internal weekly structure here is showing what a buy. Let me turn this to weekly. This is a weekly structure, not a daily structure. This is a weekly structure, not a daily structure. So these two are just weekly structures, not a daily structure. Now, looking at it, I noticed that point. I noticed that. Yeah. Let me show you guys. First, let me break it down. If you see, if you notice what I'm saying here, right? Daily is actually bearish. Daily is what? Bearish. Looking at daily, this is it. A low, a high, a low, a high, then a low here. We're making a retracement to probably sell off from this zone or this zone. That's why you saw this thing here to sell. Now I'm showing you guys what made me frame that first trade, right? That was a sell. Then when we zoom in now, let's go to 4 hours. Now we'll go to 4 hours inside this zone now, right? We can see that 4 hours is actually what? Bullish. 4 hours is bullish here. Why I took that trade. The last 4 hour bullishness is here. The high, the low, the high. So I was expecting what? A buy from this zone for a continuation, and it finally failed. So after it failed, it now gave a change of character in 4 hours. So what did I do next? I had to just go to one hour, weekly to see if there's anything I'm missing. And on getting on weekly, I figured that weekly is actually buying. Weekly is actually what? Weekly is actually buying. Now looking at weekly here, you can see this is the last weekly structure from this high to the low to this high. And weekly first of all came back and tapped into this zone here, tried to make a new high but failed. So we're coming back to sweep it, now using here as what? Inducement to tap into this other zone here, this other demand zone. This is where it tapped into. So immediately it tapped this thing. Next thing I'm expecting is for what? Weekly to push price to this overall high here. That is where weekly should push price. It doesn't matter what any other time frame under is saying. Weekly is higher than them, and weekly must clear everything out. So that was why I said, oh, let me readjust my bias. So I had to go down to 4 hours again, since 4 hours works with weekly, and I started looking for a possible buy opportunity. Inside of this zone. And I went to the same weekly. The same zone weekly did the bounce off from. Right? From the zone, I'm saying that okay, all the candles are printing. But then here we have the retracement. Even the retracement candle, the bearish candles, I cannot compare them to what? The bullish candles. So I decided that okay, since this last bullish structure failed, I'm expecting this second one to hold because that is how I trade. Before I fully change character when it comes to trading, it must invalidate the present structure and the previous structure. Let's say this is a 4 hours structure, a high, right? And I'm trying to take a buy here. Before I would finally agree that we've changed character is until price comes into this zone and refuse to buy off. Because sometimes what will just happen is price is using here as an inducement to buy off from here, right? That is what price is doing. Except the only way, another way that will convince me to start selling immediately to change my bias is when we have something like this. A low, a high, a low, a high. Then price comes back, sweep this low, right? Change of character here, comes back, reacts from somewhere around here, then goes down. I know that this can never oppose the price again. Price has automatically change character. That is another scenario. So, first scenario, since price has broken this point, since price has broken this structure here, this last structure, and came into this zone. Now on that weekly, I saw that this is like a weekly demand zone, and price is reacted. So I had to zoom to see what price did. I noticed that price finally did an engulfing. This is the source candle. This is the source candle, right? And price finally engulfed it at this point. So at this engulfing, I know that okay, 4 hours is no longer interested in selling because 4 hours has engulfed itself to indicate what weekly is saying. Weekly is pushing price and 4 hours is now reacting. I'm expecting a pullback into the source candle zone for which to continue buying from. And that is why I framed my buy from here. And I started buying. And not only that, it also aligns with the second thing, the thing I told you guys just now, that after my first structure fails, I aim for the second one to buy, for price to buy from there. And if you can see, it also aligns with 4 hours. My buyers on 4 hours. So two things now are confluence. First confluence is the higher time frame superseding daily, and 4 hours is showing buy, 4 hours is showing sell, daily is showing sell. They cannot stand weekly. And also looking at 4 hours, because to understand weekly you need 4 hours. 4 hours is equally giving me the pattern I also trade. Now I am convinced that I'm just going to take it for another opportunity. So that's why I took this GU trade. So I think I have another trade running on BTC. Now looking at my BTC trade, yeah, wow, it's going fine. It's dumping. BTC is going to come down. I'm expecting BTC to come lower, yeah. So looking at our weekly, I'll start from weekly. So looking at our weekly, our last weekly structure is here. This is our last weekly structure. So when I went to daily, we still did not have a daily structure because I have other things I check before I mark a structure, and this did not meet up my criteria. So the only thing I discovered is when I went forward, I saw 4 hours structure. And from the 4 hours, I now marked my structure and I got a change of character and what we are looking at currently, right? And I was actually expecting price to come into this zone. This is my 4 hour zone because this is where it did the last bullish structure, change character, a retracement, right? Okay, this is where it did the last one. So this is the last one it did. Let me check. Let me zoom into 4 hours and check. Let me go to 4 hours and check so I know what I'm saying. Right? Did we get a body close? Yeah, we did get a body close. So this should not be our change of character. Our change of character should be here. This is our change of character. 4 hours change of character. Because this other high actually did a body close. Structure. So that's why I had our 4 hours change of character. So I marked this as an internal reaction point where 4 hours can come back and react to go down. Since we don't have any opposing time frame that is pushing this BTC to go higher, there's none. Only 4 hours is pushing it to come lower. And based on the daily, there's no daily structure to hold. The only thing I'm seeing here is a weekly structure, which is this is the last weekly structure here. The last. So what BTC is most likely going to do is what BTC is going to drop into the zone here. BTC will bounce off from somewhere here, right? Using this low, using this current low as an inducement. So based on this alone, I just knew that okay, people should start selling. I was expecting BTC to come on now. Why are you delaying? Why are you wasting time? All right, so I was expecting BTC to what come into that zone. I marked above here, this zone here. But BTC got to a point and did a reaction, so I had to like go to daily and see why did BTC not come to that point. And so I had to what move down to 15 minutes. I was supposed to use 1 hour, but 1 hour price action wasn't really looking good, so I had to go to 15 minutes. And 15 minutes actually broke it down very well. So you can see I did it. 15-minute break of structure, break of structure, break of structure. Break of structure, tapped into that fair value gap zone, then he did a change of character here. So by this change of character, I now know that TC wants to go lower, right? And he did a what? A retracement. He did this retracement after breaking. He did a pullback retracement, broke the low for another 15-minute structure. So he's coming back for a retest of that 15-minute structure. So that's why I sold this. That is actually why. And I will just continue selling because there's nothing here most likely push Bitcoin higher, except if there's a news or whatever it is. But for now, I think Bitcoin is going low to 74k. No, 74k is going to 60k. Bitcoin is going to 60k, right? I am not a market maker. It's just my analysis. Yeah, it's just my analysis. But that doesn't mean I'm going to take a sell to 60k. I'll just be moving it from 4-hour structure to 15 minutes, just trading and trading, get out, trade and get out until I get to that point. So I actually took these trades. Look at it. I took the trades. Look at the two running trades I told you guys. So you can see this is the Bitcoin sell, and the GU buy. You can see GU. You can see the GU buy. Then you can see the Bitcoin sell. So I'm currently on the trade. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Right, I still remain your humble Mazi